Hi folks, here it's Shelley from Taming Frenzy, and I just wanted to pop in a little bit and talk about what all is going on and the frenzy that your children may be feeling and how we as parents can help our kids to deal with that. Okay, I've really kind of debated about putting this up because I know that parents everywhere are concerned. Your kids are probably out of school for an extended period of time. They may not even know how long they're going to be out. Okay, and as parents, we're wondering, how do we keep our kids protected, keep them calm, keep them safe, and also deal with what's going on and not purposely hide things from them. On 9/11, I was a principal at a little elementary school that was located in an area where there was a big defense contractor that made planes and things for the military. And we are in school that day. Things are going normally until all of a sudden things are not normal. Once the news of the Twin Towers coming down, parents all over began coming in to check their kids out, afraid that we might possibly be a target because of our proximity to this particular factory. Something that I told my teachers then that I still believe, and that is that this kids take their cues from the adults around them, which means that we have to do several things to keep ourselves in check and keep our emotions under control. So here's what I'm going to suggest for all of us to consider is one, when the kids are awake, when the kids are around, when the kids are up playing, turn off the news. That doesn't mean to stay uninformed. I would never advocate that. But the kids do not necessarily need to be hearing reports of gloom and doom or seeing ticker counters go up with how many people are sick. They don't need to be hearing all of the things that are going to cause them to worry and fret. Okay, we can always watch the news after they've gone to bed, when they're somewhere else. We can listen to it on our phones with our earbuds in, but we don't need to have them any more scared and unsettled than they already are. Okay, so let's be careful with the information that our kids are taking in. Another thing that we can do to help tame that frenzy that our kids are feeling is, as much as possible, try to reframe this in positive terms. Granted, I realize there's not a lot positive about it, but as much as an adventure perhaps as we can. That, okay, we're off of school. What can we do, to acknowledge that we're living through a period in history, and how can we record it? How can we make the best of things? Because as human beings, the one thing that is always going to be constant is that things are going to change, and that one of the skills that we can teach our kids is that skill of perseverance and resilience. Now, something that we also can consider doing to help our kids cope, and that we also can model this ourselves, is we might encourage our kids to keep a diary. A written diary would be great. That way they can come back and look at it later. Also, all of our older kids that are so hooked into everything digital, keep an online or a digital diary. Use the voice apps and things to make recordings to talk about the things that they're feeling, the things that they're doing. In 20 years, this will be something that will be very interesting for them to look back on. Also, while they may be physically separated where they cannot see friends or grandparents, old-fashioned letter writing, while it may have kind of gone out of style, it's a great way to help them keep in touch, especially with those grandparents that may be farther away or that they're not getting to see as often. Write them letters. The grandparents will treasure them. It'll be good for the kids. Also, Zoom calls, Skype calls, all of those things. The great thing with technology is that even though we may be in our homes, we really don't have to be totally isolated from the people that we care about and the people that we love. So any steps we can take to protect our kids from what they are consuming, to try and make this as positive an experience as we can, or to put as good a twist on it as we can to help tame the frenzy that they are feeling, and things that we can do to help keep them connected and feeling connected to friends, other family members, etc., through letters, diaries, Zoom and Skype calls. All of those things will help make this seem a little more normal and certainly less frightening to them. So that's just something I wanted to pop in, because I know that everybody out there who's got a child at home, honestly, even when your children are grown like mine are, we're still concerned about them, and we may not be actually living in the same home with them, but we're still concerned about their emotional and their physical well-being. So during this time, I encourage everybody to follow the directions, stay indoors, take care of your health so that you stay healthy, and in the process, tame a little bit of your frenzy.